Welcome to Vegas Realty Check, your go-to podcast for all things Las Vegas real estate. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we bring you the latest market trends, insider tips, and expert insights to navigate the ever-changing Las Vegas realty landscape. Tune in each week as we break down the data, answer your questions, and help you make the best real estate decisions in the entertainment capital of the world.
Hey Las Vegas, thanks for joining us back here on Vegas Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. I am Trish Williams, and we have our co-host, Courtney Bohm.
Hi everyone.
Yes, and today we are doing a community spotlight. So we have a guest with us, Mark Schaffer with MyVegas Magazine.
Yay.
And Mark, we're so excited to talk to you and hear all about you and what you guys are doing today on the show. But before we do that, let's open up with our market numbers of inventory for the week.
Absolutely.
And rates. We are, now that Courtney's on the show, we get to talk rate news too. So we're
always fun.
Excited about that. So our, for the last 7 days, this morning, we have single family homes on the market. We're at 5474. Pretty much the same number as we seen last week. We're right around the same ballpark. Condos and townhouses on the market, those are at 1839. Now, over the last 7 days, we have had 757 new listings. Price decreases at 773. Those are around 100 less than what they were last week. Under contract, we are at 698 homes went under contract, and sold, we're at 643. And what are we looking at for rates, Courtney?
So pretty exciting.
Yes.
At least for us, for sure. So we are finally under 7%, and that hasn't happened in about 30 days. So for us, on a 30-year conventional, to be a tad bit under 7%, it's not huge movement, but things are starting to look up, and we are now in the sixes. So things are starting to slowly trickle down, and that's super exciting for us. And if you're looking at an FHA loan, we're right at about a 6.2. So slowly starting to come down. Like I said, this is the most movement we've really seen in the last 30 days to finally see something under 7% as far as conventional. So we're excited about it.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at an FHA right around 6% is really great for a national average.
It is really great, and that maybe we could start getting some of these buyers off the fence. One of the interesting things that I noted when we were going through inventory, when I was getting the inventory numbers for this week, is new construction has obviously been a big driver for buyers because of the rate buy downs, and of the solds that over the last week, 15.4% of those were new construction, and 11.46 of those were new construction that went under contract this last week. So we're seeing a lot of drive there, but we definitely have some amazing deals on resale that are out there and some motivated sellers. So these rates coming down, hopefully will get some people pushing into those, because we want to see this resale inventory. I want to see it go down a little bit. It's I think 5474. It's not a terrible number, but it's not the best. Yeah.
And I think there's always, I think the more new builds that are coming out, obviously it's going to push people who own homes and they want to sell, and it gets them more motivated to really want to, offer some things that, to make it more attractive. So hopefully we're going to get a lot more buyers into homes, and homes that are on the market that aren't new builds.
Yeah, sellers out there, consider those concessions, rate buy downs, offering concessions to the buyers.
Absolutely.
That is definitely something that will help motivate those buyers to choose you over new construction. And well, on that note, let's get into introducing Mark Schaffer.
Yay.
So Mark is with MyVegas Magazine, local magazine here in the Valley. And Mark, tell us a little bit about MyVegas. What is it?
Well, MyVegas is a city magazine. Every city has one. Every city has one. Dallas, LA, San Diego, Orlando. Vegas never really had one that caught on. Most of the magazines that were here 20 years ago and 30 years ago were all about the Strip. Yeah. And there was a lot of magazines about where to go, what to do on the Strip. And nobody was addressing the locals in any high fashion style, or any capacity. So I saw that void, and I thought, you know, we need one here in Las Vegas for the locals because, in fact, a lot of the tourists that come to the Strip, you know, they stay for 4 days, and it's usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they never leave the Strip. And they don't, and they wonder where we live.
Yeah, you know, when I was a kid growing up in Las Vegas, people used to, I'm dating myself here, but back in my days when I was a kid, we used to have like these teen talk lines where you like talk to kids on the phone from other states. It was like, you know, our version of social media. And I'd say I lived in Las Vegas, and they'd say, well, what hotel do you live in? And I was like, no, I live in a house. And they'd be like, no, you're lying. There's no houses in Las Vegas. So many people used to not know that there was a local community here.
Well, I know. I think it's funny too, because when you have like friends visit and they're all on the Strip and they're like, how do you live here? And you're like, I don't live on the Strip. And you know, some of us barely go to the Strip at all. So
I never do.
There's so many amazing things outside of the Strip, and especially now we have teams, we have sports teams, and there's so much growth here. It's incredible.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So yeah, MyVegas was formed to fill that void, you know, to create something for the locals to love and look at and hold in their hands and be a part of, and that's how it was born, and that was 2010.
2010, so you've been around for quite a while. I know you're a pretty established name. I didn't have to ask questions when I first heard of you of who is that, because I see you everywhere. Where do you guys, where is your magazine, where do you have your magazines out? Like where are they usually at? Where are they typically at? Where do people find them?
Well, there's about 300 racks and drop spots all over town. A drop location could be a doctor or a dentist office on the table when you walk into your doctor's or lawyer office or any business office. Then we've got restaurants all over. We have also our own racks, about 300 stops all over town where you can get it for free. But recently we just signed a big contract with a distribution company for the magazine to be available in every store.
Oh, wow.
Town. So now they're on sale and at over 216 stores, and we're the only one, including, let's see, Target, we have Target, Albertsons, Vons, Smith's, Walgreens, CVS, Barnes & Nobles, Sprouts, all the Sprout stores, all the Whole Foods. And so now you can get it anywhere, over 216 stores.
Wow, that's...
if you want to buy it, I mean, you know, with gas where it is, you can drive across town and pick it up at our office for free, or find a location. You can spend $10 in gas looking for it, you know, or you can just go to your local store and pick it up for $9.99.
How often does a new magazine come out?
So we're quarterly, winter, spring, summer, fall.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Years ago, I did a cover on MyVegas Magazine with you. That's how we met.
And I wish I had that one here to show off.
I have copies. I should have brought one. But what I did when I did that was I did like a social media challenge of people. I said, if you find the magazine with my cover on it, post a picture, and I entered them into a drawing. So like I made it fun, and it was like an Easter egg hunt for the magazines.
And you win a free house.
Yeah. Well, no free house, but yeah. But there was a drawing and a prize, so I made it fun. So on that note, what type of people do you feature in the magazines, and how does that work?
Well, the magazine's kind of like a city magazine is typically, you know, where to go, what to do, but we've also added the element of the who's who in town. They say in Las Vegas there's about 200 people that make all the decisions in this town.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I say, well, there's another, you know, and a lot of them are politicians or, you know, the higher uppers, you know, and I know a lot of regular people like us that, you know, are also making big decisions, and so we make it available for just about anybody to be on the cover. And we like to feature business owners and the movers and shakers, if you will. So the people that are doing amazing in different our primary industries like law, medicine, with our doctors, or real estate like you, and anybody that's making Vegas move down the track as it's booming. You know, part of the boom, I might say, part of the boom. People that are part of the boom.
Yeah, it's print influencers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And what you guys have like awards that you do every so often for different industries. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we do the top 100 doctors in Las Vegas. So we do a feature once a year on that. We do a once a year feature on the top 100 lawyers in Vegas. We do a feature on the top 100 real estate professionals in Las Vegas, and the top 100 men, the top 100 women too. And so any business, and it could be a woman with a beautiful med spa, or it could be a man that I'm going to see a guy today down at Town Square that has a sports car business, and it's just amazing people behind the businesses that move Las Vegas, and so we love doing those features, those top 100s as well.
Yeah, that's great. And I know that you can go on your website and nominate anybody.
Yes.
If you know someone out there that you think is doing great things and wants to be, and you would like for them to be featured, you can go on and actually nominate them for one of these features that you have.
At MyVegasMag.com.
Yes.
MAG, MyVegas Mag.
I saw that you have a lot of different like business partners too on there, like different restaurants, different. Right?
Yes.
There's like a list
Oh, yeah, we love featuring the restaurants too. I mean, who doesn't love to eat? That's 3 times a day, so to speak. And, so we love featuring restaurants as well. And a lot of businesses, I love it when a friend of mine, one of my gals in the office, she says no one is exempt from being on the cover. And we're always looking for good stories. There's a lot of success stories here where people come here with $100 to their name, and 10 years later, they have 100 employees, they have 5 offices, and they're just boom, boom, boom. And so we love to share the success stories as well.
Yeah, that's great. And you do have regular articles too in there. It's not just a magazine full of advertisements. You have articles and things that you have every week that are ongoing that you have professionals do.
Yeah, so when the Sphere came in, for example, we did a story on the Sphere, and what's new in Las Vegas and what's happening. That big train coming from LA, that's going to be a big story over and over. The Raider Stadium, when that was going up, we were doing a lot on their stadium, watching that go. And but at the same time, we'll feature a story where to take the kids on 4th of July.
Yeah.
Or where Santa Claus is going to be this season, and how to catch up with Santa.
Yeah, so everything that's happening here in the community is all located right there.
Yeah, everything Vegas, yeah.
I love that, and that's definitely a necessity. What made you want to start this?
Well, that's a little bit of a story. We go back to the 2000s. I was a cruise ship singer. And then a wedding singer.
Really?
For
what
a while.
Cruise ship?
Carnival. I spent 5 years out at sea.
I love it.
Oh, wow. And what type of music did you sing?
Well, back then I did all big band stuff.
Okay.
Fly me to the moon and all that good stuff,
If I would have known, we would have had you singing today.
I was going to say.
I'm working on my first album right now, and now I just do country music. I love this new country going on. It reminds me of my music when I was a kid, and but with a new twist, a new pop feel, So
yeah.
I'm really into the pop country right now, and I love it all. But I was a wedding singer back in the 90s, and went from the cruise ship singer to the Orlando. I met a girl on the cruise ships from London, England, and we moved to Orlando and got married, and then in Orlando, started the wedding business. I was a wedding singer for a while, and I started advertising in the local wedding magazine. And after 5 years, the publisher said, "Hey, you want to get into my business?" And I said, "Publishing magazines." I said, "Show me the money," and he did, and we did, and that went for about 13 years. Wow. And then we sold out to a big WebMD, bought our company out.
Oh, okay.
And so wound up with a big check, and I was out of work. So I started a restaurant magazine called the Las Vegas Restaurant Guide. And then I started the Las Vegas Home Improvement magazine, and then Las Vegas Home and Health magazine, Las Vegas Woman magazine. I started Las Vegas Bride magazine. By 2007, I had 10 magazines.
Wow.
And we all know what happened in 7 and 8, the whole real estate crush. And my magazines all went down.
Wow.
And I had to shelf just about all of them. I had 1 or 2 left, and I thought, what am I going to do? So I called my clients, so the clients I had left, I said, "Hey, I got to close the magazine until this recession is over." They said, "No problem." So in 8 or 9, we closed these other magazines because they were getting too small. People were, didn't know if the world was ending or whatever. And by 2009, I thought, I got to do something. I've got 20 clients in my restaurant magazine. I got 20 in the home and garden, 20 in what can I do with all these clients that really want to stay? They're still in business. But I don't, and I thought maybe I need to create a magazine and put them all in that. So I thought, but what would I call it? Because on the strip that's not my Vegas. These are strip people. And I was in my laboratory. I call my laboratory my shower in the morning. My best ideas come there, and I write it on the wall.
Same.
So I'm thinking that's not that's the strip, that's the tourist Vegas. This is my Vegas up here, and I thought that's what I'll call it. And I wrote My Vegas on the shower door wall.
Wow.
And I went back to the office the next day, and I started putting it together. And you may have seen the tabs here, the color tabs. So each one of these color tabs is a different section.
Okay.
So now we have a home and garden section, we have real estate section, a legal section, restaurant section, this section, that section. That's how it's created. It's really 10 magazines in one.
Wow.
And we section them up, and we call it the first formatted magazine in Las Vegas because in the restaurant section, if you're reading something about how to make a chef's lasagna recipe, you don't want a pooper scooper ad over here on the right. So we have restaurants and restaurant ads and stories in the restaurant section. We have home improvement ads and stories in the home improvement section. We have real estate stories and real estate advertising in the real estate section. So it's all sectioned off. So it was born in the recession.
So it's something for everyone, basically.
Something for everyone.
Something for everyone. I love that.
So if there's like a restaurant that wants to be featured, they just reach out to you directly from the website, or?
Oh yeah, sure. They can go to myvegasmag.com, or they can call my cell phone. I'm 7 days a week. There's an old saying: if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's
and
right.
I haven't worked in 30 years. I love this business. I have so much fun. I say it's more of a, I call it, some people say a hobby. Well, it's way past a hobby. It's now a sport for me. Business to me is a sport. And at the end of the day, my faith with God is you can't take any of this with you. So have fun while you're here.
Yeah.
And move the pieces around on the chessboard and play your best chess game and have fun. And whether you win or lose, you'll always win. If you love God, you'll never lose.
That's absolutely amen.
My faith is this is all a faith-based powered magazine, and I love it. If God gives me a different direction 10 years from now, that's okay too. Whatever He wants.
Yeah, just those doors open, you got to go through them, right?
Right. So right now, God's blessing the daylights out of it. We also have my Nashville and my Austin open up.
I saw that.
So that is all you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
So I did know, I was aware that those were out there, but I did not know that was you. That is that's amazing. So you have partners in these other states that are.
Well, no.
Oh.
I don't, and that's where the challenge is right now because, for example, Tuesday I'm flying back to Nashville, and I have to fly back to Nashville and work that one. Then I got to fly to Austin in February. We're having a big Austin Women's Power Lunch, and it's a bit much.
So you're doing everything
until January. Now, January coming up, because I believe now that our country is on the right direction for the next 4 years. I'm excited that business is going to boom. I have faith that business is going to boom, and so I'm going to go ahead and invest in what's called a franchise system.
Okay.
And then I'll have boots on the ground in every city, and the goal is to get to 10 cities. I want my Charlotte, my Dallas, my San Diego, my Phoenix, my Orlando, my Tampa. All the Sunbelt states.
I love it.
Because I don't like the cold. I don't want my Chicago or my New York.
Chicago's a cool city, but it is very cold.
It's just the weather, yeah.
My New York needs to come with some gloves and a beanie.
Yeah.
So if other people are watching and you're in these states, because we do have people watching kind of all around the country, if you are in any of those states and you're interested, reach out to Mark, of course, and get some more information on that. So yeah, that's exciting. Now, you talked about having fun, and I know that I am, I think I'm on your email blast system, so I see and I've gone to many of them. You're doing events like crazy. What types of events are you doing here, and what are these events? Who goes to them? Who's invited to them? How do you get invited to them?
Well, let me see, the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, and why. Keep it short here. First of all, I do want to address the fact that why. When you're a magazine business like this, we sit in an office over here in South Summerlin. And if we didn't do events, we wouldn't really meet anybody.
Right.
And we wouldn't have any friends, and we wouldn't have any fun. So it keeps us relevant doing the events. It keeps us out there in the public eye. Because a lot of these city magazines, they do not have events in these other cities.
Yeah.
And as a result, they're just a magazine with no face.
Right.
So we put a face on it, and then your name with a face, and all that good stuff. We bring the staff out, and we'll have events we try to do one a month. Mm-hmm. And it could
one
be
a month, wow.
Yeah, and it could be a spa party. Maybe one of our clients has a new med spa and they're having a grand opening, and we want to help them, so we'll support them with the grand opening. We might have our own, every Halloween we do our own big party at Blue Martini. We have a little party there about 1,500 people show up. It's kind of fun and a lot of fun and amazing. And it could be a lawyer party at his office, maybe celebrating something. And it doesn't. Any of our clients that want to throw a party, if you want to throw a party at your real estate office, let me know. We'd love to help you and support you. And it gets us out there. And there's a restaurant that just opened up, and we just did a big event over there. We had 200 or 300 people show up last week. I can't always say
Empanadas?
Empanadas.
Empanadas.
Yes. Anna and Adam's new restaurant from Villa Brazil. They just opened up that one, and we had a great night there just last week. And we love getting out there, meeting the people and shaking hands, and it just makes it real.
Yeah, definitely. And I've been to some of your top 100 events that you've had for different professions, and it is a great networking opportunity too, because it's not, when you have a top 100 professionals, it's not just realtors, or it's not just doctors. Everybody's there. I've met doctors, lawyers, like all types of people in all different types of industries. So it's great networking if you are a business owner. And as a business owner, you have to meet people. You have to get out there. You have to meet people. You have to, like you said, get your face out there, because people want to put a face with a name, especially here in the Valley. We are a big city, but we're also a very tight-knit city.
We really are.
Well, and on that fact, it's MyVegas, when I wasn't even looking, over the next year will be 15 years.
Wow.
And without even really realizing it, we wound up forming our own little community. So we'll have these events, and like you said, a realtor can meet a doctor, who can meet a lawyer, so, and everybody's doing business with each other.
Yeah.
It's about 500,000 people right now. About 500,000 people are connected to MyVegas Magazine, and through some just reading it, and some coming to all the events, and in different levels. And it's really turned out to be a community. So I know a community. So I know that like a doctor, has to get his dog groomed. And the dog groomer sometimes needs a lawyer. And the lawyer sometimes
you always want to have a lawyer.
And the lawyer sometimes wants to go out to a nice restaurant and and then the restaurant owner sometimes needs a dog groomer. They just keep helping and serving each other. And so it's turned out to be a community. Yeah. And I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah, that kind of organically forms itself when you have something that just has everyone together.
Yeah, I love that. Can you subscribe online as well to be up to date? Do you guys do like emails of what's going on, the events?
Yes, you sure can. Again, MyVegasMag.com.
Okay.
Somebody else has MyVegasMagazine.com.
Really?
And I was negotiating with him a couple years ago during Corona, but
well, we don't know about them.
He's in California, and we'll seal the deal someday. But right now, it's MyVegasMag.com.
MyVegasMag.com.
And one of the things that I absolutely love about your magazine and about doing a feature in it, I did a feature, as I said, many years ago. That link is still there. I have it in my signature line.
Yay.
So that is, as an advertising piece, it never goes away. Which is pretty, I think it's pretty awesome. Like a lot of, whenever you do a magazine, it's like, oh, that's irrelevant, that's so many years old. It doesn't go away. You always kind of have access to that forever. And as someone that's advertising for their business, I think that that's a great option.
Well, we call it permanent advertising. Social media also is changing too, even our social media. But these magazines, they have a 5-year shelf life. Just the hard copy itself. And
that's great.
What I know to be true also, and you may know too, is if you post something on social media this morning, tomorrow it's buried.
Yeah.
In fact, this afternoon, you would say, oh, it was here a while ago. Let me find it again. Oh, I can't find it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we said that? Never mind, but it was a cute meme or something on the social media you saw and you wanted to share with your friend, and 2 hours later you can't find it. It gets buried.
It becomes irrelevant, yeah.
So I think social media is, I call it temporary advertising, but you got to keep doing it. You got to do, people used to say post 2 or 3 times a week. I'm talking 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
More.
You do to stay on top, and video makes it a little bit higher in the analytics and get you that, I call it Google juice, get you Google juice, and things like that. There's definitely a method to it.
As a result, we have a full-time social media manager at our office, and that's what she does for all of our cities.
Yeah.
Posting every day, all day, just to keep it on top.
It's crazy.
pinned to the top.
It's a
we all know.
full-time job.
Yeah.
But you want to keep the fresh stuff going, the fresh news, and you got to keep it out there.
But social media, one thing about advertising with social media is while social media advertising works, or at least I found out, in my business, while social media advertising works, you do have to drive it to a solid like a magazine or a you want to drive them to your website. You want to drive them to something that's solid because
somewhere specific
that you use social media to capture, but that's not going to make the engagement.
Yes, and we call that funnel marketing.
Okay.
So we create the funnel marketing. We help all of our clients out with that too. If they don't have a funnel system on their website, it's one of the first things I talk to them about. In fact, yesterday I was talking to a lady about her business. They do a hair loss, and they don't really have a funnel for men. Hair loss for men and or hair replacement. And you got to have a funnel these days. If you don't have a funnel, you're going to miss it. And you want to put everything. You want to drive everything to that funnel.
Right.
Basically to your website that says, hey, for a free consultation or for a free CMA or something in your business, for a free loan analysis or whatever, you got to have that funnel, and you want to drive all your traffic to that funnel.
Yeah.
So you do consulting with business owners as well.
That's all it's been about 5,000 in the last 40 years. I've been meeting businesses. I'm going to say about 5,000 of them, and they tell me what's working and what's not working.
Right.
And sometimes I sit behind the desk of their computer and I see little stickies on their computers I shouldn't even see. They invite me to the back office, and I'll see bring home milk for the baby or call the divorce lawyer. I'm like, I wasn't supposed to see that. And he's like, oh yeah, you weren't supposed to see that, Mark. But they need me, and they need this help in marketing. And when you get in close with your clients, so close, it's you wind up consulting with them.
Yeah.
Then I have
awesome.
a few years ago, 5 years ago, I had to stop the free consulting. I'd also have a friend of mine came to me and said, Mark, I want to start a coupon magazine, and you know magazines, and you can help me start one. I said, well, I'll give you some words of wisdom. We spent 2 hours together, and I didn't. He was a friend, but after about 10 of those, I said, I got to stop giving this free advice. I guess I'm getting to that point where I got to be a consultant, and I got to maybe charge. I don't know.
So it just kind of came. It just kind of came with the territory. All of a sudden, you started.
It just came up. I mean, it turned out to be. So I could talk to anybody about their business and getting the word out.
That's great.
Yeah, definitely.
And in different areas, not just magazines, billboards, radio, TV. We do it all. We can do press releases. We can do everything for you. Now we're
I love
you
that.
do billboards too?
Our company is Mark One Media Incorporated.
Okay.
If you look up my Vegas business license, you won't find it because our corporation name is Mark One Media, which stands for Mom, who is my #1 inspiration in my whole life, my mom. And that's our corporate name, and as a result of that, we have the magazine. This is one of the products that we do. But we can do everything for you, marketing, from social media management to SEO, building you a website, getting your billboards up, put you on TV, radio.
Wow.
So we're connected with all the other media
So you have
companies in town.
a lot of resources available for business owners, and especially if you're trying to start up a business in Las Vegas, you want to get connected to someone who's connected in the community. That's very important because that's going to open doors for you. You're going to be able to meet people and be able to help increase your success rate by doing so.
And I can add one point to that. A lot of people, when they build a business, they forget about marketing.
It's so important.
So they say, we got everything going. We got this med spa. We've got over $1 million of machines here. We can do anything to make a woman look beautiful, but we forgot about advertising.
But no one knows you're there. It doesn't matter, right?
So if you go to college, they'll tell you to set aside a budget in the beginning.
Absolutely.
Just like church, the first 10% for tithing in church. You need to put together 5 or 10% for marketing because especially your first 5 years to get the word out.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You have to give yourself exposure. And speaking of exposure, you started a podcast?
Yes, because of you. You got me hooked on this. I love these podcasts. They're so fun. And so we started the MyVegas show as a result of our friendship with you. And I didn't add earlier, so let me add it now. You're talking about, what you knew about my company. What I know about you is so awesome, authentic, genuine, real, just a beautiful woman, and inside, and outside, and it's just like you don't meet a lot of high quality people like you.
Thank
so I'm
you.
so glad to tell you that now here on TV.
Well, we want you on the show now every day. No,
Right?
thank you, Mark.
But honestly, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, wow, what a beautiful woman you are. I mean, it's hard to find quality people. So thank you for being my friend.
Thank you for being my friend. I am. I've been very grateful to know you. And since we met years ago, it's been great. And you are also a very authentic and genuine person here in the Valley, and I love that. I love coming across people that are real. That are, there's so many. Some people use our city, right? There's some people that just come in here and they like crap all over everything, and they just like try to use people.
Yes.
and don't like take the value of relationships as important in the city.
And some people say they're real and they're not.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you tend to come across a lot of people that are here temporarily, and they're not trying to
Build or grow.
build or create real relationships or do anything. And I don't think too highly of those people, obviously. So when I do, I do think I have a skill of recognizing authenticity in people. So
Yeah, well, it's something you develop when you've been in this town long enough, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I know what you mean.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go to some of your events coming up.
Come on. Yeah,
Yes.
they're fun.
I'd love
we
to,
get free
yeah.
We can go
food, free
together.
drinks,
I'd
free
love
fun.
it.
yes, we can go.
I love going to stuff like that.
They're a lot of fun, and I've met some pretty cool people at your events.
Well, January 7th at Canyon Gate Country Club is our next one, and it's the Women's Empowerment Lunch.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
perfect for us.
Yeah,
So
I
you
would
want
love
to
to
get
go.
powered up, and you want to meet some more amazing women, and of course in your business you're bound to find somebody
Absolutely.
that's moving some real estate at the same time or has a real estate interest, and
Yeah.
but it's a daytime luncheon at Canyon Gate, January 7th.
Okay.
We do
Love
it
it.
about 3 or 4 times a year, and you'll love it. Some great speakers. It's all women. I'm the only guy there, so I have to just introduce and then I get out because there's too much estrogen there for me. But you would love it. Yeah, Canyon Gate, and you can find out about it on our website.
Perfect.
Okay. And Mark, one more time, can you tell people how they can reach you, how to get to your website, how to get more information, and if you guys are doing any type of business here in the Valley, you really should reach out to Mark and get some information, get some advertising going on, start making yourself known out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. So 2 ways. Obviously, our websites, which is myvegasmag.com, and then our phone number 702-792-2378.
Okay, and people can just call you and text you. You give your phone number out like that?
Well, that's the office number.
Okay.
My cell phone is 702-497-5715, and yes, I give it out like that because it's not even my cell phone anymore.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, though, so
It's a business cell.
maybe the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe the day after tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we will be stuffing ourselves, and I am going to be cooking like
Yay.
crazy. So, thank you guys for tuning in. If you do need to get a hold of me, I'm Trish Williams, and my phone number is 702-308-2878. That's my cell phone. Call me, text me. You can reach me. Please don't call me tomorrow.
You're going to be too busy cooking.
I'm cooking for an army, so it's going to be a hectic day tomorrow.
Turkey
And
time.
Courtney, how do people get a hold of you?
So if you'd like to get a hold of me, 702-416-6918.
Yeah, and Courtney,
Yeah.
they can talk to you about mortgages and
Absolutely.
these rates getting better.
So excited.
Yes, we are excited for that. We'll do some Black Friday home shopping.
Yes, Trish has all the houses, and Courtney has all the money.
Exactly.
But the two of them,
Perfect
they
pair.
can get help you out.
Perfect pair.
Yes.
So we got you guys covered on everything. Yes, and thank you guys for tuning in. If you are watching the show, please like, share, and if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We are getting an amazing amount of views. I'm so grateful for that. However, I would love to see some more subscriptions. So hit that subscribe button, please. And that way you'll get notified every time we have a show. We're here every Thursday, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Welcome to Vegas Realty Check, your go-to podcast for all things Las Vegas real estate. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we bring you the latest market trends, insider tips, and expert insights to navigate the ever-changing Las Vegas realty landscape. Tune in each week as we break down the data, answer your questions, and help you make the best real estate decisions in the entertainment capital of the world.